All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome back inside Flames Community Arenas. Mark Payne and David Standish up here in the booth, and we're excited to be here for this one. This is the final. Team Grit and Team Optimism. Two good games to start out with so far. A 6-4 win on the other side there for Team Optimism. Another NHL on this one, and that's Archie Henderson, and I'm going to take you through his hockey DB at some point, as I did with Chris Kalanos in the previous broadcast. And then Team Grit, they'll feature another NHLer, and that's Jeff Schultz, the former Washington Capital. And we're going to be excited to see this one as we're back on. And Dave, you're suffering from a bit of a cold over there. You get the summer cold.
Yeah, I guess I do. I'm just going to relapse and after this one, and then be ready for Labor Day.
We appreciate you being out here. This is his first time. Dave Standish is with Flow Sports and does everything and anything for the AEHL, the U18s, U17s, CIHA with the CSSHL, the laundry list of things that you've been up to this year, Dave. How was your season?
Oh, my season was terrific. The hockey was great. It was competitive. The local teams went a long way, and we added to our staff here at Flow, and we've got a lot of great kids who are going to work for the future. They're going to wait their turn, but they're going to work hard, and when you and I finally step away, it'll be left in good hands. I have no doubt of that. Just more teams continue to get involved. CIHA is adding to their roster. Of course, Cochrane's going to add an 18
I heard that, yeah.
26. So
18 AAA. Huh?
Yeah, so it'll be even busier. And then, of course, Flow's going to take over the Heritage Junior League. So who knows? I might be running to Airdrie or this town or that town to fix different problems with cameras or encoders, or who knows what the heck might be happening in fall 2025.
And this is Patrick and Leslie going off the ice here, the Rollisons. We did the same thing on the other side. Leslie's going to come up here in the booth with us here in a moment as well, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about the event. It's her first time on a live broadcast. She told me she's a little bit nervous. She's not nervous. She's got tons of personality. And actually, to talk about the U18 level, we have a mutual friend, and that's Rob Lee of the Edmonton Junior Oilers, my good buddy up there in Edmonton that does such a good job of running that program. So he reached out. He's like, are you broadcasting these games? I said, yeah, we're going to try to do a stream where we upload it. And these two teams are the two winners. And so there's a bronze medal game going, I guess we'll call it, on the other side. And this is the gold medal game. And we're off and running. And who else than a former Calgary Buffalo with the puck right now? You know, I'm a little bit biased when it comes to my Buffs and North Stars and that sort of thing. And there's Michael Blackmara, and he's wearing the number 12, of course, once worn by Jerome McGinley, the former captain of the Calgary Flames. Of course, Iggy, a native of St. Albert, and it was cool. He was out at the Memorial Cup I saw there last week, and was talking about how well he knows the players, and I think that's going to bode well for another gentleman who was in the building this evening, and that's Craig Conroy, or as they call him, C Squared, back in the day with the 04 Flames, of course, the general manager, and just such a nice guy. And it's so cool to be here at this event with all these Flames alumni around the building as well, but also everybody else. And I had a great interview down there, and you can follow all those at Hockey Payne with a father-son combo out there for the families outside the room. It's a real family affair as Carson Taylor picks up the puck. Taylor comes across the line, back inside the slot area. That one just goes off the blocker. And a good save there by Todd LaFontaine in those slick true pads he's wearing here this evening. Here comes Team Grit back the other way, back inside the zone. Nick, and then I heard this one. Is it Google Vaz? How did you say that one when you were doing the game?
Let's see.
Nick, I butchered that one. I'm sorry, buddy. And we've got a few of the family members over there on the far bench. And
Giucavaz.
Yeah, there you go. And we had some tough ones along the way at our U18 level this year. My favorite, of course, is Konstantinos Morfesis.
We hope he's doing well.
He's doing great. Dino's back on his feet, and he's I've been texting him, and he's doing fantastic with the Northwest Flames. The provincial champion U17 AAA Flames shoot stars. Our first goal of a hockey game. It didn't take long here in the final, and that one is sniped home. And I'm going to assume that was Brian Garrison or Mike Shanks, because that's the only two guys I didn't get their numbers down there. So there's no other number 5, or it is Ty Grisdale. There it is on the list, and then more of the players on the list here as well that we mentioned is part of this game today is Archie Henderson. Henderson a longtime NHLer as well, and just such a good head of hair when he played for the Washington Capitals. I know that because I'm looking at the picture of him right now. The old school hockey card days. Troy Hopper and I were downstairs talking about how that was the good old days. You know, they have
yeah.
the good hockey cards. You'd see a guy, and I was watching a great interview with Craig Ludwig talking about his shin pads. Is now inside the zone. Here comes Team Grit back the other way. That one goes back into the corner, back behind the net. I know the goaltender well back there. That's Z Hamilton. You want to talk about a good guy in the game? Z is a special guy and just an awesome guy around the rinks, and he's done a lot for mental health awareness. I know Z very well, so he chirped me down the hallway, and the boys are keeping me honest down there. But we're just going to jump back over to Archie Henderson's Hockey DB. If you don't know what Hockey DB is, it's a site online. It's called Hockey Database. The 73-74 season, Archie Henderson played for the AJHL's Calgary Canucks, of course, this year's Centennial Cup champions, and then the Lethbridge Broncos for a couple seasons, Victoria Cougars, before he moved on to the Port Huron Flags, the Hershey Bears, who, of course, are the farm club of the Washington Capitals, who now possess that one, and that one just goes on net. I think that one was slid through the pads there. It did. It's 1-1.
Yeah, it didn't take long for Team Grit to respond, showing that Grit's they were down, but they got a couple of lucky ones to tie it up, and then a terrific shootout goal, 1-0 in the shootout. So certainly a lot less scoring than our other matchup on Rink B earlier on.
And then the other teams he would go on to play for, the Hershey Bears, the Nashville South Stars, before he played for the Minnesota North Stars, the Hartford Whalers, the Bingham Whalers, the New Haven Nighthawks, the Nova Scotia Oilers, the Maine Mariners, and the Saginaw Hawks. 23 games in the National Hockey League, but a great career as well. And that's just awesome stuff. He's standing on the bench there, kind of giving the horns there right now, and he's coaching these guys. And great to have him here wearing the Flames alumni jacket and hat. And if you ever see that around the city, that means good things are happening because the Flames Foundation and Flames alumni are in the building. And that one comes back out onto the stick. The Team Grip player, they're going to throw it up the left-hand wall in front of that Team Optimism bench. And we've talked about the names and everything. And we will have Leslie come over and join us and kind of take us through a few more things. She's just so lively and just visiting with everybody that I like to let her kind of just enjoy the event, but we are excited to have her on as a guest here on our broadcast as well.
Well, you talk about the players, Henderson and Kalanos, just how many different teams they were with. Imagine the closet just being full of their jerseys. It's especially Kalanos. He'd have quite a museum to show off at his house.
He certainly does. And here comes my guest, and this is exciting to bring her onto the live broadcast here in a moment. And I'm going to get you to go over with Dave. Dave's going to give you the headset there, and we'll welcome you into the show as that one goes back into the corner behind the net for Team Grit. Up the left-hand side, comes back the other way. They push it back and forth, and it comes back out in the neutral zone. 1-1 with 19-12 remaining here in the first period as that one just goes down on the goaltender, Z Hamilton. And we'll welcome Leslie into the show.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, so good. What a beautiful night.
I know, right?
Lots of excitement.
This is fun. This was a good addition, no?
I love it.
I think it's
so much.
I think look at you. You look like Leah Hextall up here in the booth with us.
Thank you.
That's a compliment, by the way.
Listen,
She's one of the top broadcasters in the NHL on TNT.
yeah, I am.
This one comes down. Here we come down inside the zone. Good save there. So 2 competitive games to start out with. We've had a chance to catch up all over the rink, Leslie.
We have.
Just tell us what this is in honor of and why we're here.
Okay, well, we are here celebrating our daughter, Thea Rolifson. She passed away about 8 years ago from a rare bone cancer, and she was a really big hockey fan. It started out when Dougie Hamilton entered her room at the Alberta Children's Hospital, and she met him. They became friends. Patrick and I were already hockey fans, so it wasn't unusual that we should all enjoy the game. And it's just sort of increased from there. We've had such beautiful time at hockey games, around hockey, with hockey, and it made some great memories with our family. And so it made sense that we should have a teacup, the Thea Cup, in her honor. So this is what we do to raise money for kids' cancer care. Her legacy fund also raises money for the Alberta Children's Hospital, the Rotary Plains House, organizations that are very special to us in our journey with cancer.
Just amazing. And McCallum just came in there and buried that one to put them up by a score of 2-1 here. One of the things that I've been talking about on the broadcast too is just the relationship between the players. It's not subdued down there, but it's very cordial in the dressing rooms. So everybody guys get to know each other down in the rooms, and they come up for the banquet after. You've got some great silent auction items up there. Maybe you could tell us about a few of the ones that you've got your eye on, maybe.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. We have some great artwork, just some beautiful sort of custom pieces that were done for this event specifically, and others that are gorgeous. We have some things from the Calgary Flames, signed jerseys. We have a signed hockey stick from Dougie Hamilton, who, as I mentioned, was a good friend of Thea's and actually designed this hockey stick in her honor with some of her favorite caricatures and her signs, her signature. So that's really lovely. Just so much to look at and something for everybody, for kids, games, puzzles.
The painted rocks.
Oh, we're painting rocks up there for Thea's Legacy Circle, which will be named in her honor at Kids Cancer Care's Camp Kindle. So there's some activity and fun things for kids to do. We have a photo booth. We have Lisa White, who is singing some beautiful songs, and Thea met Lisa. She is a director at the Canadian Border Security Agency, and Thea wanted to be a border security agent and had an amazing
Could use a few of those these days.
Well, you know what?
Too soon?
It's interesting time. It's interesting time. But Lisa was, we're privileged to have her because she's off to the G7 this weekend also.
Well, maybe she could take a few flask of beer out there for me because I couldn't get through security to drop it off. I did work my way through there. All on the up and up though, too, Leslie, as you know.
I'm not surprised.
But yeah, this has just been great. I think this is a great addition, doing the live broadcast here as well. And I told you you'd be a natural at this.
I am far from.
I always say to the kids,
it's really fun to hang
I
out.
always say to the kids, I was like, you feel like this is something you could see yourself doing one day.
Just give me the microphone. Like I'm not afraid of karaoke.
Dave and I will share with you the one thing that's a drawback of the business is it doesn't pay that well.
No.
So,
but you love doing it.
Yeah, we love doing it, and we love the people that we get to be around. And we'll finish on this, Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah.
So last year I was pretty nervous to call Doug,
Yeah.
and Dougie, sorry, and I'd never talked to him before, and he was such a nice guy. Took all the time we needed, got a chance to talk about that. I'm going to repost that one because it was in the past, and now obviously with the New Jersey Devils, but he always kind of had that awareness of kids that were not doing well in the hospitals. Another one up in Edmonton, obviously in Oil Country, Ben Stelter, the Ben Stelter Foundation.
Know his mom.
Great people too, and we'll finish on the connection with the Oilers, which was Rob Lee, and that was just kind of neat how someone would reach out, and it shows you how great the game is, but how small the community is. And we're just excited to be here to share this night with you.
I love what you do. I love that we found you and came across you, and I love that you're broadcasting this. Any way that we can get out Thea's legacy, but the legacy that supports kids' cancer, childhood cancer, for all the families that are impacted and affected, it's just special. And Mark, you're a special guy. Like, you are doing the kind of work through hockey and what people are seeing, and how you promote the sport, because hockey is more than a game.
Yeah, for me it always has been. I just love hockey, and then so I'm passionate about it, and so I appreciate you saying that. But I just love it, and I think that's what the kids, when they see me in the rink, I'm getting fist bumps from the kids on the other side going to the camps, and I love being around the rink. So I'm gonna be around the rink for the next 2 weeks here in Okanagan, and little mad that they beat my Northwest Flames this year in the Pacific Regionals, but we'll go out there and run a good camp, and it's the people inside the game that make it so great, and you're one of those.
Thank you so much. You got to be authentic, and you got to you got to connect, and you're a connector.
Yeah, it's fun.
So we appreciate it.
Yeah, we like to keep it fun, and I appreciate you having me.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Leslie. Thank you for joining us. Excellent job. My goodness, the check is in the mail, they used to say. And now it should just be an e-transfer. Okay, you'd be looking for that. And we'll see you upstairs after. We'll hand that back over to Dave Standish down there. Still 2-1 score, 13-15, as we mentioned. And this one is going to go through the pipes there. Great job. Thank you, Leslie. And she's going to head back down. She's got plenty of visiting to do, and I know her Patrick's going to be down there as well, and that's fantastic. That one just to squeeze through the legs of LaFontaine. Not used to calling a goaltender. And of course, there was a young LaFontaine in the games that I was calling last weekend as well. And my passion for the game, it's keeps me going through the summers too, and it takes me away from being nervous in front of the television as I was like all the other fans. And I always like to remind people that the best broadcasters are fans, and I am a true fan of the game and the Stanley Cup Finals, and I'll be glued to my set again tomorrow night for Game 5, of course, up there in my hometown. And here comes Team Optimism back the other way. Some great skating out there, some great edge work. Another reason why I mentioned in the previous broadcast, I'm not playing anymore. The game has passed me by. I still do enjoy getting out there on the outdoor rinks, but not the same player that I once was. So we've switched off here for this second game. Dave, you're back on camera there. A great interview there with Leslie.
Yeah, that was great.
She's just fantastic, and she really is. And talk about authentic, and it just shows the people around her. They just care so much, and so that's just so exciting to have her up here in the booth with us. So that was a great piece, and probably will be my favorite memory. Moving on, there's going to be a few more to come as we're only early in the action here. Still a lot of hockey left to be played with 11:38 remaining. Comes back into the corner off the right-hand boards, comes back out in the neutral zone. They'll move it up the middle of the ice. That's Team Grit right now. They're wearing the black jerseys with the purple trim. The white jerseys with the purple trim is Team Optimism. And then we got a deadlock score here in this gold medal game. That one chipped back the other way across to the blue line, and it shoveled back the other way. That was Jared Rollick. And I'll take you through some of the names on the lineup for the Team Grit, and that's Adam Carefoot wearing the number 11. Cohen Ludwar is number 4. His dad out there as well. Connor McCallum, number 12. Data Borsma, Greg Philipchuk is number 33. Jamin Ludwar out there as well. Jared Rolock is number 8. Jeff Holloway. Nathan Wood wears the number 5. And then we've got Olav Borsma. Patrick Rollison, of course, he needs no explanation and introduction. He wears the number 7. And number 13 is Robert Borsma. We don't have a number for Sean Halifax, but trust me, he's out there. And Todd LaFontaine between the pipes. That's the lineup for Team Grit and Team Optimism with the head coach, Archie Henderson, the former right winger of the Washington Capitals out there. Number 6, Rod McLeod, Brian Garrison, Carson Taylor, Dan Sullivan, Danica Bryant. That's great to see her out there. She was a great interview and kind of a little bit shy in the dressing rooms before, but that was great to catch up with her. Justin Nadeau, Carl Armstrong. We already mentioned it. Clackmara, Mike Shanks, Scott Williams, Sean Petrone, Troy Hoffer, Ty Grisdale, and Z Hamilton. These players, this wasn't happening without them, and they are just a great part of this and a great part of the hockey community here in Calgary. We're here at Flames Community Arena, and proud to say so with that flaming sea blazing on the ice right now and blazing down the right-hand side back into the zone. Here comes Team Grit back out the other way. Dave, what are you seeing in this game? Do you feel like the pace has slowed down at all?
Well, not really. I mean, Ritz only had the 2 goals in the entire game just because I think of the style of play that we saw in that first game and that first recording. But we're seeing that the pace has certainly picked up. Obviously, the 6-4 decision for Team Optimism in that first matchup earlier on has led to some more wide open action and 5 goals here in the first 15 minutes. Borsma just breaking the tie a short time ago after Team Optimism had tied it right when you were finishing up with Leslie there. So it's been a productive first period. And right now, you wouldn't think that these guys have been playing basically for 2 straight hours.
So I told you in the previous broadcast, I always get the Schultzes mixed up, and I did get them mixed up. So it was Ian Schultz is a Bonavista native in that Lake Bonavista neighborhood. And of course, I always bring that up because I'm a Calgary Buffalo at heart. But Nick Schultz in the lineup here is a former Washington Capital and Minnesota Wild. Those were the longest tenures of his career. He's an 82 birthday, was born in Saskatchewan, and what a career. Here we go. 1,069 NHL games, 30 goals, 145 assists. Lengths of his career started with the Prince Albert Raiders. Of course, one of our players in the Northwest Flames going to be playing there hopefully next season. That's Kyle Obabaifo. And Western Hockey League career for 3 years. Then the Cleveland Lumberjacks, the Minnesota Wild, the Houston Aeros, back to the Wild, over to the Cassell Huskies over there in the DEL, which is the DEL1 Elite League, is the German Elite League. Minnesota Wild for about 5 or 6 seasons, then the Edmonton Oilers for 3, Columbus Blue Jackets, and finished his career with 3 seasons with the Philadelphia Flyers, who, of course, have a new head coach for next season, and that is Rick Tocchet. And John Tortorella being replaced there in Philly, and, of course, that'll be exciting to see, and it's one of those times of year, and we're getting ready for it here in the next week or so, is July 1st, and we'll see where the transactions really start to pick up, and it's going to be interesting to see where some of the players go. And here's one of the younger players, Raul, coming through the neutral zone for team optimism and being optimistic right now. An inside-out move. He's got his jersey tucked, so it's hard to see the number, but he's still got the puck right now. Scores! Doesn't matter how old you are when you got sick mitts like that, kids.
Well, he had a very good opportunity to the top left corner a few seconds ago, which got the crowd and both benches pretty excited.
Your job is to get on the Zoom so I can get his jersey number there.
23.
Just kidding. But yeah, that's a huge goal there. And
sure, Archie Henderson is going to be very happy.
yeah, we had Coach Macho there, Coach. Good job. 7 minutes remain. 3-3 the score. Face off here in the center ice area. Of course, we mentioned in the previous broadcast, this is the home of the Glen Lake Hawks. And that one just off the shoulder. Good stop there by LaFontaine. He's focused. I was down there doing the interview on the ice after, and he was stretching out. And yeah, you'd see kind of a little tweak of the groin there, maybe as well as one of the players trying to stretch it out there. And I think that was Adam Carefoot there in the corner.
Yeah, I think a few of these guys are going to want to sleep in tomorrow.
Scrambled draw there. Comes back off a skate now. If you've been tracking the NHL playoffs, you know how important faceoffs are. Last night it was Adam Henrique who had a good job of winning a lot of faceoffs for the Oilers. Leon Draisaitl stepping in for a lot. And, of course, so many Florida Panthers to watch as well. They've got a wagon of a team. Still a lot to be decided in that series, just like there's a lot to be decided in this game. We're tied at 3.
Yeah.
6 minutes remaining.
We got the draft in 2 weeks. And like within a couple of days of if it goes to Game 7, it's just like, seems like this season just will never end. And then, like I said, draft 2 weeks from tonight, then in July 1st, the following Monday or Tuesday, and then the GMs have finally get a chance to just sleep.
My brother texted me during the game last night. He goes, "Isn't this just great hockey?" I'm like, I'm emotionally exhausted.
Once it was 3-0, I kind of flipped off.
Oh yeah, don't worry.
I'm just like, okay, Florida will have the lead, and then I check it 3-3, I check it 4-3, and then it's just like, and then it gets tied up with 20 seconds to go, and then Evanston scores shortly into overtime. I'm just like, holy cow! So I have the recording of the archive of the game from Sportsnet, so I have to check out just exactly what happened.
It was unbelievable. It's been an unbelievable series.
Well, considering the Oilers were down 3-0 and came back and almost won Game 7.
Scramble draw. They tried to wrap it there, they say. The wraparound doesn't work out as LaFontaine got his right toe secured up against the post. And now here comes Team Grit back the other way, back inside the zone on the backhand there. Comes back in behind the net now and goes onto the stick of Team Optimism. They'll work the breakout. That's going to be all the way down the ice for an easy icing call there.
Refs have been working hard tonight as well, especially the guy who was doing the shootout. He had to cover both ends of the arena.
Do you track the NBA playoffs as well? I've actually got into that as well.
Yeah, OKC in Indiana. It's been, like I was talking to my uncle who's a hardcore Oilers fan. He's like, you haven't been just watching the hockey? I said, no. When there were like 3 NHL games and 3 NBA games, I would just flip around to whatever was closest.
I walked through the golf course yesterday. I didn't realize it's the U.S. Open this weekend at Oakmont, too.
Yeah, well,
of course, want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day this weekend.
Well, yeah, it's the earliest Father's Day can ever occur on the second weekend of
my dad used to skip Father's Day to go on his golf trip.
Well, my brother-in-law,
love it.
All he ever wants, well, because his birthday falls on Father's Day as well. It's weird. My sister's birthday falls on Mother's Day this year, and my brother-in-law's birthday falls on Father's Day. And he said, every year they say, "What do you want, Dad?" And he's like, "Let me watch the 4th round of the U.S. Open. That's all I want to do.
Just give me some couch time."
Yeah. Let me golf in the morning and then come home and watch the 4th round of the U.S. Open. So,
when he's out in Kelowna, I remember at his wedding, we got golfing on his wedding day. I'm like, "Well, you sure we do this on your wedding day?" Because that's what I wanted to do on my wedding day. I'm like, well, that makes sense if you're a golfer. That one comes back out into the slot area. They chip it back to the point. That one block goes back into the corner. We're under 3 minutes to play here in the first.
Oh, yeah, you can get those 7 a.m. tee times, golf until about 11:30, have lunch, and then get married at 2 o'clock. Why not?
And that's exactly how we did it. and it was a great day, and they're still married. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Must have picked the right guy. You got two great kids
Does
out
she
there.
golf with him?
She does, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she's as intense as we're golf nerds. So the kids asked me at the end of the season if I have a membership. I said I have two. I really only have the one, but I can be a guest at one of the other courses here in Calgary as well. Some great golf courses here, and of course, one of the reasons I like going to work this hockey school out in the Okanagan is because there's some great tracks out there as well, including Predator Ridge, and there's some other really great ones down in Penticton as well. Of course, Penticton, the Penticton V's, will be part of the Western Hockey League next season, and that's an expansion team. And Fred Harbinson, whose roots are from Calgary as well, will be the head coach and GM as he has been. As that rebound shot goes past the goaltender, and we've got a leading goal here, and it's for Team Grit.
Yeah, good work inside the blue paint. Not much the goalie could do at the end of that play. LaFontaine's at the other end.
Z Hamilton.
Yeah, not a whole lot he could do there. I think I've seen him.
He's Z1 and only.
Oh God.
That was terrible.
Yeah. Well, we'll start hearing those again in September. I have no doubt of that. But no, I've seen him play probably all the time. Well, very often as one of those rent-a-goalies for beer leagues.
Yeah.
It's like
He's a man about town,
rent-a-goalie.ca
for
or
sure.
something. So yeah, he just
They
loves
put
to
you $50 to show up and play net. Which some goalies are probably thinking like, that's
well,
it.
well, actually, that's
Oh,
true.
that one just squeaks by him there. That's not a good one. He's going to want that one down.
Because if you don't have a goalie, you could have 100 guys, but if you don't have a goalie, you default the game, and there's like a default fee that the team has to pay. So yeah, they'll rent goalies, and they'll just like, we need anyone. Our goalies in Disneyland or Kelowna or Nova Scotia or Edmonton or whatever. So we'll give you $50 to play the game, so we don't default it.
I think my buddies would pay me $50 to stay home. Back into the zone there, picked up by Grit.
You'd love to be back on the coaching bench.
Oh, I think I would enjoy it. I stood up on the bench back there. You always get that feeling back there again, and you realize how much work it is.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool to see. It was obviously Stan Bowman's the GM of the Oilers, but Scotty Bowman on the road with the Panthers, or sorry, not the Panthers, but with the Oilers, because his son obviously the GM. I screwed that up there because of course Bowman actually lives in Florida. He lives in the Tampa Bay area, and he did a lot of consulting work for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Another one of those is kind of the crossover. Mickey DuPont, now the Alberta regional scout there. But yeah, kind of interesting. But 91 years old, Scotty Bowman, still following the cup, and no one's won more of them behind the bench. And he's just a legendary coach, but just so cool to see at that age. And I hope when I'm 91, if I ever get that close to it, you still get to take experiences like that in, and then on top of it, it's your son who's the GM of the team too. So some great storylines throughout, and this has been some great storylines here too. And we're going to get a chance to catch up with a lot of these players upstairs. You can see one of the players is actually talking through the glass right now to the ref down there. So pretty friendly on both benches. 5-3 the score here with 20 minutes to play, and we'll see who will be the champion here in 2025 here at this T-Bird Classic. Hope you're enjoying our continuing coverage here as these two teams kind of keep the legs stretched out. I think it was Evander Kane was skating around at the beginning of warm-ups the other night while the lights were still off. Kind of interesting to see that a team would be doing that, but just trying to keep the blood flowing as the ref comes back out of the penalty box, and we'll get things going here again in a moment. This game between Team Grip and Team Optimism. Dave, did you have the other roster for the final team here? I just wanted to mention some of the other players that are here. Team Tenacity is Chris McMitchell, sorry, Errol Bybrick, Ethan Tobin, Jamie Pendergrass, Joe Bowden, Martin Carver, Martine Iserman, Matt Stewart, Nick Smith, Rafa Bianchi, and then Richard Tuncliffe, Ryan Gillette, Stefan Medwed, and Steve Nielsen. Couldn't have done this without all these players here. As well as all the teams on Team Positivity, which I'm not always that positive when I'm in the rink sometimes. Sometimes I'm trying to be more positive on the golf course this year too. Trying not to talk to myself as I'm coming off the greens. Like, try to make some putts, you loser. Kate, Lucas, that's exactly how it goes too. Darren McCutcheon.
I hope you didn't do that when you were a
If you're up,
coach.
if you're up
Holy
at
cow.
if you're up at Silver Spring, it was worse as a coach. Dave Brown, David Wirtza, Glenn Morey, James Lava, Jason Barrett, Martin Vogel. Wanted to get everybody's name in here. Robert Kiss, Rod Zay, and Scott Meyerhoff, as well as Chris Kalanos. Just a great night here at Flames Community Arenas. I'm certainly glad I jumped back up in here in the booth. Great to get Leslie on there, and some great content going to be coming your way here. We can watch this in the future and hopefully have this as the keepsake moving on as we come down the right-hand side, back into the zone and controlled there by number 4. That's Cohen Ludwar. He throws it off the boards, and he's an Oiler fan. I know that because he had the Oiler hat on when he came in the rink tonight, Dave.
Yeah, I don't think there's nearly as many Calgarians that move north as there are Edmontonians that move south. And I think that's honestly a compliment to us as a lifelong 50-year Calgarian. I think there may just be more opportunities up here or down here for different types of industries. And I mean, I've only ever been in Edmonton on vacation or work assignments, but I'd like to get to know the city a little bit better, but only during July and August.
It's beautiful this time of year.
It can be a real draw. It can be a real drag, and in January, especially when you're trying to go up hills on winter tires. But Edmonton loves their fans. You got to love their fans. They love their sports. They have a very dedicated fan base to this team, and I'm not cheering for them, but
I've heard that a lot in this town lately. Carson Taylor now turnaround shot there. That one off the shoulder there.
I'd rather see like 3 million Oilers fans get paid off rather than, let's say, 30,000 Panther fans.
I know. I noticed a lot of them left early from the game the other night. I was kind of a little shaking my head a little bit from that. But that one flipped up over top of the net, especially when you have to pay as much as you do to go to the games right now, too. That's been something to follow, too, online on some of the ticket scalping sites, as that one's controlled inside the zone. 5-3 the score here.
Well, a ref buddy of mine went to game 2, and I saw him the night after because he was reffing. And I said he had completely lost his voice. I said, well, who knows what it could have been? I'm like, why'd you lose your voice? He said, I was at game 2 last night. And I said, how'd you get tickets? He said, if you have enough money, you can get a ticket.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
money talks.
He grew up there as well, just like you did. So
yeah, but I've had some people call me about tickets, and I'm happy to watch it on my couch. And the way how nervous I get watching it, it's probably best that I'm not in public. So I went and ordered some nachos last night and sat in my basement and watched that game 4. And when they tied it with about 20 seconds left, there was times when I needed some mental health coaching for sure. As it comes back over to the left-hand side, controlled there at the line. Point shot comes in. Team Grit with the lead and the puck right now as they come back out into the neutral zone. Connor McCallum down the left-hand shot. Scores! What a shot!
He got the first goal in the first game earlier tonight, and it looked very dangerous. And yeah, they're taking this seriously. They want that 3-goal advantage because you could tell that Team White had really turned up the speed basically at halftime. And once they came out of the break, and McCallum is going to shut that down as quickly as he can.
Let's go, White. Pick it up here. There, I'm coaching from up here now. That one comes up the side wall and down the left-hand. Then comes one of the new players this year. That's Danica Bryant. Bryant out there right now. And
that was a smart throw in front because the goalie and 3 defenders had no idea where the puck was. And if a teammate had been there, that person would have buried it thanks to her assist.
No one tried the Marion Hossa goal in the shootout in that last game either. You just come in across the blue line and take a clapper at the goalie. Goalies hate that, by the way, so maybe don't do that. Kind of cool. I saw all the goalies. They took advantage of the purple tape that they have provided in the lobby, and they've all retaped their sticks. You can see it down here. LaFontaine looks sick in there. He's got the great setup, kind of leaning up on the bars right now. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Ken Dryden.
Well, not only for like high level hockey, but even for like beer league, like the purple off the black, or just like it's an underrated color. And
I think this might be more the look that you'll see with the Utah Mammoth
Oh, I'm
next
sure.
year.
Yeah.
Of course, there's this blue shot
Nice.
scores.
Nice.
Another quick snipe there, and they're running away with the final here.
Was purple part of their color scheme?
No, they're kind of more of a blue, but it's the black.
Oh, okay.
I think anytime, and it was actually Don Cherry that we used to talk about how when you wear black, you look bigger. And if you look out there right now, you'll see Greg Filipchuk out there and a few of the other players. And I think they've switched numbers now because Philly's number 15 now. So, but yeah, you can just see the size of some of these players. And there's the puck right now. Comes down the left-hand wing now, back out into the neutral zone. But yeah, black tends to make you look bigger. And the reason Grapes used to talk about that is because the Boston Bruins used to be the only black uniforms in the NHL, and now there's a few. The Los Angeles Kings. I know that the Tampa Bay Lightning's thirds. You'll see it from a few other teams too. So yeah, the black uniform. Now back onto the stick of a Team Grit player, 14:04 playing. They kind of get the music playing the whole time in here. As now it's chipped forward.
I don't think we'll get the copyright strike.
No, we're fine. Shot just goes wide up into the glass there. Of course, we're only uploading this, so this is not a live stream. Although I think we've been pretty good live, you and I tonight.
Yeah, we're not going to be editing this.
Probably didn't hurt that we called 500 hockey games together this year. So
I got to count it. Honestly, I've kept track
it's up there.
since January 1st, but
I would love to know the last 3 seasons, you and I, how many games we've done. I would say it's 500.
oh, I'm sure it is.
It's gotta be.
I'm sure.
Like-
or we either that or filming.
Yeah, just covering
yeah.
games, like, and just being
Yeah,
in the
covering.
ring. Yeah.
Well, Sports School Hockey League, from what I've been told, has instituted mandatory commentary for next year. So we'll see what CIHA or lending us a lot of this equipment, by the way, and we thank them.
That's my new boss, Mo Jamal, there at
Absolutely.
CIHA.
And what the Edge Mountaineers are going to be up to in 2025. And of course, like I said, that Cochrane AAA team in 26 should be a lot of fun as well. So there will be plenty of opportunities on the microphone. I have no doubt of that for ourselves or our colleagues. And it's nice to kind of be at the upper level of that seniority list. And
Spoke to one of them yesterday, actually, Conrad Krauser, reach out to me.
what's going on with Conrad?
Just checking in the off-season years. It comes up the right-hand side, down the right-hand wing, goes back into the corner. Cohen Ludwar out there.
He's doing the Dogs
Yeah, he told me that.
baseball, which is also on Flow Sports. So
Flow Sports, the home of the HJHL. I saw that
yeah, you sent that to
breaking
me
news
yesterday, this
and
morning.
so
Yeah.
that was interesting as well. So there'll be plenty of games in that league. That's, of course, the Junior B League here in Alberta,
Well, Southern Alberta, yeah.
Southern Alberta.
Yeah, they won't be starting with all the teams. Like, I think only 6 of the 12 are going to start.
I know that Cochrane and Okotoks, there's a few teams that love the broadcast. So I called a couple of their games last year. Back inside the zone, cutting back to the center part of the ice there, stick handling in there. That one just flutters off the stick of Nathan Wood. And that's Ty Grisdale out there as well. That's the 2 5s out there. Got them covered.
Hey, and don't be surprised if we see a lot of those kinds of players maybe in an event like this in 10 or 15 years. Oh, yeah, I remember you in 2024 when you were playing AAA U18s.
Jared Rollick now coming down the left-hand side. Here's Carson Taylor. Taylor back inside. LaFontaine up to the challenge there. And with 11-12 remaining, Team Grit will maintain a 4-goal lead. 11-7 with 11:06 remaining.
And, of course, a lot of the best parts of the youth hockey that we deal with at the elite level is the moms and dads who do a lot of the volunteering, and we get to know them very well throughout the year. And we're happy when their kids are successful because we know that meant that their efforts pays off even a little bit more for them. So
One of the interviews downstairs and goes, yeah, just glad all that hockey school I paid for paid off.
yeah, exactly.
That was a great line. Up the left-hand side, Team Grit with control. They've got control of the hockey game right now, too, as we're approaching the midway point of this final stanza. Back in front of the net, backhand shot. See, Hamilton has to go off his pad, and it's chipped just home there. And there's another goal for Team Grit. They now lead by a score of 8-3.
Well, I mean, it just shows you how it maybe
What a comeback this has been. This team was trailing by a goal in the first game, tied it, and the last hour here now have taken a commanding stranglehold and potentially our undisputed champ here in 2025.
What I was going to say is that sometimes maybe teams aren't going to just completely run out of gas. It's just that you get warmed up in that first game, and then you have all the energy and the drive and the tenacity and the grit
And another good chip home grit there
to get 9 in game 2.
I'm not stopping that either. That one got batted out of the air above the goaltender's pads and just snuck through on the 5-hole there, but that's a tough stop.
Well, Z Hamilton's probably got 5 beer league games this week, so he doesn't want to.
He's probably got a game tonight.
So he doesn't want to tear a groin or rip a shoulder in a charity tournament.
You just love that when I saw that so many times this year where players would come and they'd get out of there. Where's he going? Because I wanted to get an interview. And he's like, oh, he's playing on his team in an hour. They drive across the city. Shot on net, scored! He's got 2! Snipe City here in Cowtown. What a shot there. And he's having a night. That's Foster Garrison. Goes for the flyby down the bench and then gets a little celebration too with an NHL alumni coach. What a night.
Yeah, again, thanks to Flames Community Arenas, not only for hosting the event, but helping us get all set up here at SCA Gold.
Yeah, they're great staff. We went into the office there before and checked in with them. They're really easy to work with over here. And they keep 3 sheets going all summer long. So that's impressive. Of course, the other side is the bigger ice, and that's where the Mount Royal Cougars play. Of course, the men's and women's program. And there's a great other location. You knew I had to do this at least once in the broadcast. There's an adrenaline source for sports here. You know where the other location is?
No, you tell me.
9309 McLeod Trail South. Adrenaline source for sports. We fit your game. And they have another location, of course, on the north side of the city now, too. But
Northland Village Mall, yeah.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Brian Keller and everybody over there at both Source for Sports locations. I've been watching hockey. That's why you haven't seen me, boys, but I'll be in there for a new twig for the ODR, maybe some fresh gloves. I got to change my colors this year to the Olds Grizzlies. Like, I already spotted some black and yellow Nike shoes I want to get. You know me, it's all about the flair and the look.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I didn't wear my hat tonight. Did you like that?
Yeah, you're covering a team that plays gold and black. You don't want to walk in with green and purple, so it makes sense to me.
That's how we're going to look there in Olds Grizzlies country, the back in black look. You got some great gear, really great logo. I'm super excited to join them this year. Going to be doing some work, and I want to mention that if you're interested in playing some golf this summer, we'll have a great tournament at the Hamptons, and that'll come up here in about a month's time. So we're still selling foursomes for that as well, and always looking for sponsors. And I'll be on the warpath for that, and I'll be up there on Sunday actually in Olds and in the Innisfil area. The Mountain View Mavericks hosting the Shamrocks this weekend, Dave, in lacrosse, and that's going to be a big one, as that Shamrocks team is going to be hosting the Founders Cup at a place that we know very well, and that's Seven Chiefs Arena.
Yeah, they're going to be playing there starting last weekend or this weekend. And yeah, they'll be hosting at a location that hosts several very large events. And they do it. The staff knows us as soon as we walk in the door, for better or worse. And because usually we're
better. I saw them at the Dome
to ask
playoffs,
to ask a question or to
last week of the season,
or to get something answered or to make a complaint. Yeah, they do a fantastic job out there, and it'll be a good home for another national championship. They're hosting events in all different kinds of sports there, and like different dance competitions and gymnastics and all sorts of things.
Great facility.
It's a terrific facility. And it's beside the cheapest gas station within 100 miles.
Yeah,
so you might as well
I know that well too. The other game on the other side must be over because the players are over here having a adult beverage down below us here. They're just watching the rest of this one with 5:12 remaining, and it's 9-4 now the score in this final game. And it's been a lot of fun. And this was a great idea, Dave. We do a lot of this, you and I, and you can always reach out to yourself or me at Hockey Pain, and we can set up a broadcast like this if you have a small event or a corporate event. As there goes $400, he's going to be headed. You know where he's going to go? Adrenaline Source for Sports. He's going to need a new stick, as that one just snapped in half with 4:45 remaining.
Yeah, there's
Back
his
behind the
cherry.
cage. Chipped off the wall there, back the other way, and the D will go D to D there, like Duncan Keith and Brent Seabrook used to for the Chicago Blackhawks. I heard that there's rumblings of a return of Jonathan Toews into the National Hockey League.
Yeah, just where is the question?
Oh, I'd just love to see him go to Winnipeg, no?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe that'll be the thing that can push them over the edge. Of course, the Jets celebrating a Hart Trophy for their goaltender and a Vezina too, Connor Hellebuck. Yesterday, now it's brought inside the zone there by Justin Nadeau. Nadeau now just hangs on to it for a moment. Got good puck control there, and he'll work it over to the left-hand side.
Yeah.
We're under 4 minutes to play.
Maybe Taves can do something more in the room, just like Patrick Kane has for Detroit. Of course,
Good point.
He'll pull the odd hat trick out of his hat too once in a while.
Well, he's just got such good chemistry with Alex DeBrincat, so they just play so well together. As that one's flipped out back into the neutral zone, picked up there now and thrown out the other way by Adam Carefoot. Carefoot looking for the return feed, but it goes ahead of him over to Callum McCallum. McCallum now throws it up the left-hand side, back inside the zone. Nice drop pass there. Hamilton's got to be crazy there, or crazy. Careful, I meant. Have to be crazy to be a goalie, of course.
Yeah, you got to be a little crazy, that's for sure.
So another face-off here with 3:11 remaining. I think I'm going to have to grab Archie Henderson for an interview at some point as well. And I wanted to stay away from some of the alumni guys, so we're trying to give the whole flavor of the entire event. So you'll see some of those interviews get posted online, and we'll share it at the socials. And again, thanks again to Dougie Hamilton, New Jersey Devil, and he's, one of Tia was so special to him. So just such a cool, unique story about how hockey and people connect. As it goes back into the corner. Now back in front of the net there. I think that one just went wide, and now it's picked up again by Team Optimism. They're trying to stay optimistic here with 2:30 remaining. Back inside the zone. Here comes that sniper again, and that's Foster Garrison back out the other way as it goes back in front of the net. Now Garrison digs for it there in front of the net. I think he's got to be my interview after, no?
Oh, definitely.
He's got 2 goals.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got the puck again now, too. Go deep. Dump it in.
Missed the hip.
Doesn't have to, just goes inside out, right off the boards there. Bow dangles, they call that.
He just avoided
He's got another one. There's a Hattie. Oh, that one just goes off the wall.
He narrowly avoided a hip check from his.
He's got another chance at the hat trick here. That one, good save by LaFontaine. Rebound chance. Back into the corner. He's got to get his stick back now. He's doing everything out there. 2 shots. Oh, and then he can go call a goal.
Well, he raised it up for interference, so
it's a penalty shot, and I would be surprised. Yeah, look who's going to take it here.
goalie
You
interference.
thought Chris Kalados was exciting in the last game. Here we go. With a hat trick. Coming in across the blue line. LaFontaine comes well out, loses his angle for a moment, and makes the save. Boo. Great effort there, and a great hockey player. It's all ahead of you, kid.
Oh, definitely, yes.
So I'd like to thank you too, Dave, for setting all this up. You did some running around, and we've got the real makeshift booth. This is probably our sloppiest booth of the season. I think. Look at this, just unbelievable. What a couple of guys with ADD can do together, hey? Down to a minute remaining. Last minute of play. Oh, again, I'm not the PA announcer tonight too. We pulled a lot of double duty this year too. That is not easy. Trying to do the public address and call the game at the same time. Is that
No, I wouldn't recommend that.
I thought Jack Michaels was going to lose his voice at the end of the game last night. I heard his call and he sounded a little bit like you, like he was under the weather. Hard to feel bad for these guys that get to go to Miami every other week now.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, what a life.
I'm kind of sounding like I normally would after like the 12th game of the
Yeah,
Circle K
right.
tournament.
This is exactly how you sound in the Circle K Classic final. Chip ahead now, and time ticks down. They had the goalie take a look at the net there. Tad LaFontaine had a yawning cage there for a moment, but it doesn't go down, and now it's picked up here by Team Optimism. Doesn't matter how much optimism you have. There's only about 10 seconds remaining, and it's going to be another shot from the goaltender back up the middle. Open net. And that one blocked in front of the net kind of reminded you a little bit of Matthias Ekholm last night of the Edmonton Oilers. The final horn will sound, and that's it. Dave, I'm going to get downstairs and get some post-game footage. We hope everybody's enjoyed this. We were up here to have a little bit of fun tonight. Sorry if we were a little bit chatty Cathy and not calling all the hockey, but just wanted to add some flavor here. And the crew here, our Calgary crew, we call it the Flow Sports crew, happy to do this. And, just a really great cause and some great people. And I'm looking forward to going to have maybe an adult beverage or two here on a Friday night with them here at Flames Community Arena. Dave, how'd you enjoy it?
Oh, I had a great time. Team Grit 9-4 the final, but yeah, the scoreboard, the least important thing about this event here on a Friday night, and these guys pushed 110% right to the final whistle, final siren, and of course the NHL Alumni certainly a big part of this event as they were last year, and I'm sure as they will be in years to come. Again, thank you so much for tuning us in, and congrats to Foster for a couple of goals and for Grit for a couple of wins. We'll see you in September, folks. Enjoy the sunshine. See you later.